So this is why you're still broke in the West, especially, even though you're working hard. So it's not about working hard. It's about finding a way to provide value to others so you can have income equivalent to that skill set and that value. So it doesn't matter the job, but there's a problem going on right now where people in general are having a tough time affording things because extra taxation, inflation, rent prices, everything has gone up, right? And you might know this, but there is a growing divide between the lower and middle class financially. And so the middle class is actually disappearing completely. A lot of this has a lot to do with these different things going up. And a lot of people are getting more jobs, like 2 jobs, 3 jobs, working more hours, 4 jobs, so they can just cover their basic expenses. And they're not really actually living. They're surviving and existing, but they're not just living their life to the fullest and enjoying it. So, super important to do what I mentioned earlier is really build a valuable skill set so you can break free from this. Maybe even work less because of that, which sounds crazy. Maybe build an online business, for example. You can move wherever you want. And the reason I bring this up is because there's a growing amount of remote workers or digital nomads or people that just started their own hustle online and they've been able to move out of places like the UK, Australia, the US, etc., right? And that's because part of it, actually this is worth saying. No matter if you're very wealthy or not very wealthy, you'll still benefit from this because your dollar is going to stretch if you move. So if you can set your life up, think about lifestyle design. Where do you really want to live? Do you need a car? That's something that's bringing a lot of people down, is their car payment, their rent, their insurance, their cell phone bill, their groceries, the cost of eating right now, etc. And it's all relative to where you live. But the important part here is that you can design your life any way you want it. So you can move somewhere where you don't need a car, for example. And I know this is really hard for people to think about, but what if you designed it so you could work remotely or run your business remotely? You could sort of run your own hours for the most part. The more time control you can get, the better, obviously, because there's a lot of business owners that never get control over their time, even though that's the reason that they started a business. And you could live wherever you want. I know it's hard for people to think about leaving their country. It's like their comfort zone, right? Or, for example, leaving their friends or family behind. But think about it like this. I mentioned this in the beginning of the video. The more that you're working and losing that time freedom, financial freedom, you're just surviving, the more you're not able to get farther. Maybe you're just in a cycle or actually digging yourself a hole. So wouldn't it be good to find a way to break free from that? I'll give you some examples. A lot of people who have found success with some kind of online income, and they found a way where they're able to work from another country, for example, or at least a cheaper part in their own country. I'll give you an example for me. I've heard a lot of people talking about living in Africa in different spots, or Romania. And myself, I've lived in Southeast Asia and Latin America. And wow, I mean, I wasn't making that much, but my quality of life went way up because of that. And I was able to save more too, which is nuts. So if you can find a way to bridge the gap and break yourself out of this, you're going to save yourself a lot. Start enjoying your life, living to the fullest. I mean, I'll give you an example. Like, some places in Southeast Asia or in Latin America too, your rent is under $1,000, and that's even for a better, like a more high quality place. You can get a really good spot for, 500 US, right? Or even less. I mean, you could go farther down than that, but I've heard of places being like 300, 400. But yeah, I mean, you can see an example of this. I've spent less than $10 on meals out, oftentimes $5, $3. One of the best meals that was inexpensive that I had was 79 cents for lunch. In the US, it's like 30, right? So, I mean, it's just insane. And you see what you're doing to yourself. You're not actually able to build the life that you want, and you're just stuck with someone else's system. But what if you could just build your own system? I don't know. What do I know? I've enjoyed it a little bit myself, and to be honest with you, I'm working on getting back to that. So, if you're with me on this, I'd love to talk to you about this because I've done it before and I'm going to do it again. If you need any help with anything, for example, starting your digital nomad life, remote working, I've got a personal trainer background in nutrition and fitness, obviously, so I can help you build the body that you want. If you need any dating help, with your dating apps or approaching in person, I've worked with a very large YouTuber named How To Beast on this. I used to do sales for him, and I learned a lot from actually just, helping those guys out in the coaching program. I do sales myself too. So yeah, I mean, if you want some help, honestly, right now, I'm offering basically a steal, coaching, private coaching with you, if you want it, for $7. That's it. A lot of coaching is way higher than that. And I probably will only do that for a limited amount of time. But I want to make sure that I help you guys out and we can help each other, If you can't do the $7 for coaching, that's okay. I am building this channel to 1K subscribers at the moment. So subscribing is free, and so is commenting and liking. So I appreciate you if you made it this far into the video. And you got this, bro. Peace.